What up, though?
What up, though?
Welcome to another episode. Shoulda never gave y'all mics.
Sup.
It's your boy Jay Ayers.
Tanisha's fan.
Rockstar Vegas.
We have a guest on the show.
Yay!
Right. Oh wait, she the guest on. Oh shit, that's the fan, guys. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
The props.
Hey, that's the fan.
This is what happens when you get things live.
Right.
That's how it goes.
Damn,
Hey.
fan, I fell.
That's what happened. So,
You're missing your brother. Again?
Brother Noopsy. My dear Brother Noopsy.
Misses.
Yeah.
Brother Noopsy, if you're out there, we need you.
Right.
You have to come to the show. We need you, Brother Noopsy. If you can hear me, please show up. Please, Brother Noopsy.
So silly. So silly.
I want the knife. Please. Tell him to ask again.
Thanks again.
I am not. What we on today, guys?
Well, today, since I'm on the show, I guess what we really need to talk about is everybody living in their own prison, man. So I wanted to come on here and see what y'all feel about that. And see how you feel about it. I know bro missing, so we need to really talk about it though, man, because everybody just in the closet. And I ain't just talking about like sexuality. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. You right.
Living in their own truth.
Right.
Gotcha.
Definitely.
Or somebody else's for that.
Or somebody else's truth. Living in somebody else's truth. Yeah. So I want us to bring that out to the world with the show and see how they, respond to that.
Definitely. A lot of times it comes down to not just your friends and stuff like that, but your family.
Yeah.
Like you are scared to be who you are around your family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's basically what I wanted to touch on, because you got overgrown people that have came up in a certain lifestyle. Sometimes it's their tradition, sometimes it's their religion.
Mm-hmm.
And they get over 30, over 21, and sometimes over 40 and 50, and they just stuck and complacent in that. So I guess I'm coming to ask the world and ask y'all, like, what is that about?
Well, I think it's a huge, like, there's so many reasons why.
Right.
It really just depends on what it is. I can speak for myself. For many years, always was concerned about how other people felt, about what I did, what I said, how I looked. And even today, it still kind of dictates some of the things I do and how I do it, because how you do things, how you go about things, your presentation can help with your future or it can stunt your future. So to me, I look at it as one of those things that it really just depends on what you're trying to do.
Right.
How you allow it to affect it. I know for many years, I've always been terrified of heights.
Right.
Terrified to get on the plane. Everybody was like, oh, you scared because of 9/11. I was scared before 9/11 even was thought about in anybody's mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't get on the plane. I missed out on so many different opportunities to travel. Because I was afraid of heights. And I'm like, oh, I'm scared. Who wants to, So I've always lived like that. And then eventually my homegirl was like, you know what we're going to do for your birthday?
Get on the plane.
We're getting on the plane. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? But I did it. And now I'm like, I've been missing out.
Right.
So I'm glad that, that's the other thing. You got to kind of pick and choose who you have around you.
Right.
Because those people could help push you towards something brighter or different.
Right.
Or they can help you stay back.
Exactly.
Because if everybody else is like, girl, don't do it. That's scary. Why would you do that? Because you scared.
Right. And I think you hit on exactly where I wanted to go with it. like life quality. Kind of like she said, she had never been on a plane before, but she was depriving herself of so much life and experiences just by being afraid to get on a plane.
Right.
So, like she said, it kind of go back to who you keep around you in your circle, and that too go back to tradition. Because if all you know is your sister, your mom, or your homeboy that you came up with in the same community, then what is it left to push you outside of that realm or those limitations? You get what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I wanted to hit on, like life expectancy. So for you, in that same analogy or example that you just gave in terms of like flying, so now you're able to fly, so you see a new realm of experiences. But also, like, how has that like expand your aspect like on life?
So, because I took that first flight, after that, I was able to travel by myself on a plane. Because now it's like, oh, I can go on the plane. That helped in my career.
Right.
So, the job I'm currently in, I had to go out to Oklahoma.
Right. Wow.
Had to go to Oklahoma.
Wow.
Well, for training.
Okay.
I had to go out there for training. And in order to get, you have to go to Oklahoma. You have to go to Oklahoma. Who's driving to Oklahoma? I'm not.
And see, that could have been.
I'm not driving to Oklahoma. Like, that's. So, because I already been on the plane a couple times, it was like, you know what? Nah. What? I would have never taken that job or taken that opportunity if I had never been on the plane before. Right. So that kind of boosted everything. And it was like, you know what? So it's a whole new world. I got to advance in a different aspect of my career. So if I hadn't done that, I don't know. I probably would have been still doing something else, and now I got that opportunity. So
ask, like, what is your take on it in your life experience?
Well, I would have to say I'm like the extreme opposite.
Yeah.
I ain't got nobody's filter. I don't conform to normalities.
I like that, conform to normalities. Basically, to me, that's what it is. You know,
I do whatever I want to do, pretty much when I want to do it, and I say what I want to when I want to say it.
Let me ask you this. Because I look at some people, and I look at their upbringing.
Right.
And I notice that some people have an upbringing to where their families might have been the same way. Their parents might have been the same way. Their siblings, their grandparents might have been that adventurous, no holds barred type person. And so that allowed you to be able to be a little more outgoing, a little more, I really don't care. As opposed to somebody who grew up a little more kind of maybe sheltered or strict.
Do you think
so
that played a part?
Not at all.
So how was your parents? How was your parents though? Like, was your parents strict or like?
My dad was super strict because he was in the military.
Yeah, facts.
And then my mom, she was church going, so you know how that goes.
She had her tradition, right?
Yeah, so
you rebelled. You rebelled.
He did.
So you just was like, because they was like, what? Nah, I'm busting out the gate. Okay.
So you basically rebelled, yeah. But both of you guys pretty much touched on to what I wanted to bring out with the show was like conforming to normalities. So I guess that brings me to my next question. Like, what's normal?
So that's the thing. Personally, I don't feel like there should be a normal. Because
should be or is. Cause
I don't feel like there. Well, society's gonna tell you there's a normal.
Right.
However, there are approximately 7 billion people on the planet.
Right. So
how is there a normal out of 7 billion people?
Right.
What is normal?
Right.
But you also have that like public standard, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like what she said.
Right.
Well, again, that's a standard that they tell you is a standard, but who's to say that that's the standard?
Right.
Just them, and that's what they want the standard to be. But that doesn't necessarily mean that is the standard.
True, but
that's just like
I say that only because you look at some of these laws now. Right. Some of these laws make Now, granted, if you look back in history, like you have to dig deep in your state or town's history, you can see certain laws nobody pays any attention to. There's still a law though.
Right.
It's still a law. Nobody enforces it. Nobody says boo about it. And then you have others that are like, whoa.
Right.
Like they're at the top of the list.
Right.
You better not do XYZ.
Right.
This is illegal.
Right.
This is okay. So it's one of those things where I'll bring up hair.
Right.
Because that's a hot topic. This dread thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it like that. Y'all don't judge me.
Right.
Don't burn me at the stake, guys. But this dreadlock thing where it's, oh, you can't wear this kind of hair and work in this type of environment. You can't be in the military and, excel in your military career because of your hairstyle. So I saw a little boy, must be like 7 or 8. He's got this amazing mane. Oh, it's gorgeous. It's curly. It's full. It's long.
Yeah.
Little boy. He's been denied from going to 2 different schools because of his hair. So, who cares? It's clean.
Right.
It's clean. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have lice.
Right.
What's the problem? There's no bed bugs in his hair. What's the problem? But because he's a boy. Oh, he should look like a boy. He does. But
do you think it's because he's a boy, or do you think it's a cultural aspect?
I think that's probably, but I think it might be a little both.
I can speak to that from experience.
Right.
Because I can remember being a boy and I had long hair like that. And I can remember my dad would take me to a specific barbershop on Saturdays and I would get my hair cut a certain type of way.
They catered to a specific type of culture.
Because it was him.
Right.
My mom took me to that same barbershop. They told me they didn't cut my kind of hair.
Wow.
Because she took me to the barbershop.
Right, wow. So it's more so cultural.
Well, okay. Now, that was based on your parents.
Right.
You still had the same type of hair.
Right.
That is a cultural thing. Though.
Okay, but what I'm saying, check what I'm saying. They looked at your mother, looked at your father.
That might have been a sexist situation.
It was a racist situation.
It was a racist.
That was prejudice.
Right? I got you.
Yeah. So
it wasn't.
This is the thing. The over the top part of it is the principal at my elementary school at that point was a barber at that barbershop.
Okay.
So it is not like he did not know who I was.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the multifaceted type of situation, clearly.
But is your mom and dad 2 different ethnicities, though?
Yes.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
So that's why I said it's not just a cultural thing. Because you're still the same kid. They've seen you in there time and time again with your dad. It wasn't just cultural. Some of it was the fact that a woman
brought you
in there who didn't look anything like your dad.
Right.
You're the same exact kid. And I feel like with that young man in the school, both his parents probably went up there with him to enroll him. They might not even, they do these interviews with these kids
right.
to see, let's see what spectrum he's on. Let's see where he's at. Let's check him out. They interview these kids. He could have had both his parents with him. I'm almost certain both his parents probably look similar to yours. based on just looking at the kid.
Right.
And they said, he's not our caliber kid.
Right. And so they blamed him on
He probably could have passed every test, scored high, above grade level, that he's supposed to be at. And they looked at it. So I guess it's one of those things, like I said, these laws are in place. So there is some form of quote unquote normality, depending on what we're talking about.
Okay. So I guess let's get more specific in terms of living in your own prison. So one thing I wanted to specifically touch on was like religion. Yeah. So everybody have their religion. A big one is Christianity. For example, Christianity. And a big topic in the world today is LGBT, homosexuality, and that aspect. So let's go there, because you said it depends on what you're looking at. Let's go to religion. and the aspect of how it formed people or how their parents use that to pretty much limit or set boundaries or guidelines for how their child or how their household is supposed to be sustained. I guess I want to kind of like unveil, because we all know it has the advantages, but I guess I kind of want us to unveil the disadvantages and how it crippled a lot of people beyond age 18 and 21 when it's their time to make their own personal choices for their life, and they have that spirituality and religion from their upbringing and their tradition, but they don't have their own perspective on life or religion and tradition. And so for that matter,
which I feel like is sad.
Right.
Because I personally feel like I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink.
Right.
So, because I believe this way,
right,
because I have this personal belief, because this is my faith,
right,
I'm teaching my children that.
Right. As a mother.
As a mother. Right. However, once you get a certain age, you should be reading for yourself.
Right.
And unfortunately, a lot of preachers, pastors, priests, whatever you want to call them, a lot of them don't teach to read for yourself.
Right.
So, because you touched on Christianity, I'm going to use the Bible as an example. It tells you to read for yourself.
And show yourself approved. Right.
So, if you're so into this mindset of I'm a Christian and you're reading the Bible,
right,
you should be reading for yourself and not just going by what the preacher, man, woman, otherwise,
parents, right,
is telling you. So when you get to a certain age, you're supposed to be reading and studying for yourself.
Right.
Now there's no excuse. It's 2020.
Right.
You got dictionaries.
Digital.
You got Google.
Almanacs. Yeah.
You got how many different versions of the Bible? The New NIV, the King James version, the Old King James, the Earth version. You have so many different avenues to study. And if you choose not to, that's kind of sort of on you. If you just let somebody kind of dictate and tell you, well, it said this. Well, how do you know? Did you look at it? Did you pull it up?
Right.
I have a cell phone. Guess what? I don't need a laptop. I don't have to go to the library. I can look on my phone and put in this verse. Or I can put in keywords and put in the Bible. And it'll show me if there's a reference for it. It'll show me.
Right.
So it's one of those things where it's like, if you're, I would even say 15, 16, 17.
You should already be molded.
You should already be starting to, but as a parent, we have to teach our kids that it's okay to think for themselves. Because a lot of times, don't question. You don't question
what I tell you, right?
Oh, whoa. And there's levels to questioning.
And that's what I want to touch on too.
There's levels to questioning. Some stuff you absolutely should question.
Right.
And others is just kind of like, you have to get to a place for yourself where it's like, you know what, I don't know if I want to touch that. I don't think I even want to be bothered with that.
Right.
So I get it. I'm one of those people who I've come to a point in my life where there are some things that's between God and
you and God. Right.
Ain't no need for me to be trying to figure out because my brain is gonna fry.
The capacity, you don't have the capacity.
My minute brain, in comparison to, cannot handle some things, so I don't even try. It's like I'm not even gonna question that. Yeah. But again, you gotta study. And check for yourself, no matter what it is. Yeah. If there's something to study, which now there's probably nothing that you can't research or find out. So I feel like if you get that age and you still
over 21, over 30, I mean, like, what's your take is? Like,
right.
Because she spoke a lot about showing yourself approved on reading. And I guess on the religious aspect, she is completely correct.
Yeah.
I think where I was going with it was like when you know what your religion say, you know what your upbringing is. It's not that you want to deviate from that. But you got parents and some people who will use those bylaws and guidelines in your religion and tradition to beat up on you. You know what I'm saying? And to restrict you from that better life quality. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that sinning, so to speak, is certain a better life quality, but like you said too, as it relates to Christianity and the Bible, it speaks about what is forbidden and what is accepted and what is not to be done. But it also speaks about forgiveness and mercy, and that no man that necessarily walk the face of the earth is perfect or even could be in that aspect. So it kind of make you say, does everybody have that reservation for like one sin or one wrongdoing?
See, this is my belief on it. I like to think of myself as being a Christian.
Okay. I like the way you put that though. Yeah. Because we never know until he come. You know.
I like to think. I like to think I'm saved. I like to think I'm gonna go to heaven.
Right.
I pray. I try to pray every day.
Right.
I try to pray with my son every day.
Right.
I don't necessarily subscribe to religion as much as I do.
Spirituality.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I feel like religion is stiff.
It is.
And I feel like religion is meant to put people in a box.
Correct.
And hold them. And guide them where you want them to be and put them wherever you want them to be at. And that's how you create sheeple.
Right.
I'm not a sheeple.
Right.
We established this earlier. So, I don't go in your boxes. Nah, so that's not for me. Alright, so now, how I feel is, when it comes to what you were speaking on earlier, I feel like if if you have children that you feel are doing something that is not right according to God or the Bible or whatever, I don't think you should be trying to beat them up with the word.
Right.
You should more or less show them love and let them, through their own relationship with God, find their way.
Right.
Because your love is what's going to get them where they're supposed to be.
Right.
Because you're teaching them through love and showing them the way.
Still.
Yeah. Because that's exactly what he showed you.
Right. That's what.
Because even in your mess, whatever you were doing, he still was like, "Come on, I got you. Come on.
Yeah, come on, I got you.
I got you. Come on. I'm here.
Right.
Come on." So whatever they're doing, you still be there for them.
Right.
So it's no different than if my son go out there when he turns 16 and go get a DWI, and I'm like, "All right, come on, son, I got you."
Right. It's no different.
It's no different.
It's no different. Right. And that's what I wanted to touch on to kind of bring light to. A lot of times you could be isolating or pushing a person further away from even their religion or their tradition, just by you beating up on them with that.
Yes.
And I think that's what Mr. Ez or Jeremy was pretty much touching on, is that you want to kind of be like, give that same type of mercy that you have been given if you saying that you live in religiously or by Christianity doctrine. So I like that, and that's basically what I wanted to go with it. But it's also another level outside of tradition and religion, like what we touched on. Some people live in their own jail by restricting themselves and avoiding their own identity. So that's something else I wanted to touch on too.
Afraid of what other people think of.
And it could be due to tradition or religion. Yeah. You could be that guy or that lady that grew up in a household, like she said, that was really strict. Church 4 or 5 times a week. And that's all you knew. You eat, you sleep, you get your academics, and you do church or religion and tradition and family, and that's it. And for that person that's been that sheltered 20, 30 years, and then they get to age 31 and they don't have that relationship like what you talk about. At that point, like she said, that's your own prison. Because
you set those bars.
Yeah, like you said, usually about 16, 17, 18 years of age, you want to start developing your own thought. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in part, I want to kind of hold their parents accountable for that. Because at some point you can see that your children is astray or completely just confined to whatever it is y'all have in your household.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted us to speak on that. What's the limitations of like self-prison in terms of self-identity and you just been stuck because you don't want to wake up?
That's the comfort zone.
There's no limitation to that because you can be stuck in your mind
Yeah,
forever.
forever.
You can create your own stuff. I say that because I'll speak for myself. With my upbringing, I went to church.
Right.
Still do.
Right.
Still go.
Right.
For me, I'm the baby of 4.
Okay. Wow.
I have older siblings
So a lot of
ranging from 48 to 42.
Wow.
And they have always kind of
Conform.
no.
Wow.
They were complete opposite. They have always followed the beat of their own drum.
Yeah.
All of them. To this day, for as long as I can remember hearing stories, because my brother's 12 years older than me.
Wow.
So I had to hear stories about what he did because even, certain things, I was still little.
Wow.
So even when he got 16, I was only 4. I had no clue what he was doing, or even understanding some things. Me, on the other hand, I had the fear of God.
Right.
My mom, so for me growing up, my mom has always been like, it was God,
yeah.
Jesus, the Holy Spirit,
and then
my mama.
And then my
No, and then my mama, not us. I wasn't even in that equation. Like, I'm still a peon.
Yeah.
My mom was like, right, I just knew that my mom was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Like certain
if you
things.
do anything outside.
Certain things, it was like, can I hide?
Yeah.
I just knew my mom was gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Granted, she didn't kill my siblings. They're all still living, thank
But
God. But
you had that pressure, yeah.
it wasn't. I think it was my own self pressure.
Right. And that's what
because I was fearful of any type of punishment.
Right.
Punishment?
Yeah.
I can't go to the game.
Yeah.
I can't play my video games. I can't do I was so fearful of getting in trouble or disappointing her that it was just like I wouldn't do certain things.
Okay.
My mom had to make me skip school, senior skip day.
Yeah.
I was that kid that was like, I'm going to school. She was like, they do have this thing called senior skip day. Like, you cannot go to school. And I was like, are you sure?
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to find me? Like,
I'm not going to look for you, basically. Yeah.
Right. So, for me, and I kind of carried that into adulthood. So, there was, I became to be a little more sneaky.
Okay.
So, there was things.
Even when
like,
you didn't have to.
In college,
right.
I had to get a cell phone because she would call my room and leave messages and be like, I don't know why you're not in your room. I'd be like, so I got a cell phone.
Right.
Just so she wouldn't call. Even my roommate at the time, freshman year, we'd known each other since 7th grade. I would be embarrassed with her in the room like this, and she'd be like, your mama called.
Wow.
Not even her. The voicemail would be like, I don't know why you're not in the room studying.
Wow, playing out loud.
Because there's a student center, there's a library, there's other places I can study. And she just was like, it was one of those things that was just like, OMG. So even then, it would just be like, oh, what is she going to say? What is,
Yeah.
But, I for me, and I know so many people who are complete opposites.
Right.
Their parents, it's like, I don't care what you did and
said. Yeah.
I'm going to do whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, how far far can I go?
Right.
Without it, without dying.
Right. She said without dying.
Without dying.
Yeah,
like without her choking the life out of me. Like.
And so how has that though? Because that's what I want to touch on. How has that pretty much formed your boundaries and comfort zones? You get what I'm saying?
It really just depends. Honestly.
So she wasn't all the way.
No, I mean, so like I said, I got sneaky when it comes to certain things. Certain things in general, I just feel like it's not public knowledge.
Right.
It's nobody's business but just me and God.
Right.
That's nobody's business. Or if other people is involved, that's who it's between.
Right.
Other things is kind of like, whatever. You see it, you don't, whatever. Who cares? So depending on what it is, like I try not to get in any trouble. I'm trying to stay legal I'm trying to stay on the right side of the law. Like
so, well, we're not talking about like DUIs.
But I mean, just in general, it kind of, there's just certain conversations. Like I have some friends who tell their parents any and everything, and I'm like, we not even. I love my mom, and there's a certain level of respect I have for her.
Right. You just wouldn't even bring that up. Right.
Why we finna talk about that? I don't even, pimp. I've never understood how some people can talk to their parents and say certain things, and I'd be like, you said what?
Right.
But that's just me.
Right.
I feel like there's a certain level, we're not friends.
Right.
That's just me.
Right.
This is my mom. Yeah, she's my quote-unquote best friend because I know nobody got my back like she do.
Mom.
But that's one best friend I can't tell. I can't tell what I did last weekend. We're not having that conversation. So I would much rather, whether she knows her children, because I think all parents know their kids to some extent.
Yeah.
Especially if you're an active parent. If you're not an active parent, I can't speak on y'all. Some of y'all some bums. And
Right.
That's a whole nother story. But the ones who were involved, it's like, she probably know I'm kind of halfway off. I'm slightly touched. She's aware.
But so, I guess what I want to ask is like, how does that impact a person like self-awareness and like self-actualization? Because if a lot of yourself is not what your religion or your traditions is not compliant with, if that makes sense to you, then how do you be yourself? How do you accept yourself? You know what I'm saying? How do you try to avoid that living in your own prison or creating your own prison and creating your own bars that's just pretty much in your head? You know what I'm saying? In your life.
Well, for me, I don't create anything in my head. I don't believe that there is no bars or no.
Yeah. So they don't kind of apply.
It is what it is. I mean, whatever I want to do or whatever I want to, make happen is whatever I'm gonna make happen.
Right.
So.
But like, what helped you get to that freedom? Because like she's saying, she's just as free as you, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all grew up for a while. Like 20 years y'all been friends, right?
Yeah.
So coming from the same but two different backgrounds. Both of y'all like say that, okay, I believe I'm a Christian. All three of us believe in Christians, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no telling what God believe. But just saying we all three believe we're Christians, but we come from three completely different backgrounds. And like from her standpoint, she's pretty much saying, I've always had that shadow of my mom, who wasn't really religious,
or that moral compass that was just
right.
And she did. I remember.
Right. And so I get the moral aspect, and you definitely want to raise your kids up with moral tradition and also religion, if that is something that has shaped and formed your family.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying is, even with that, sometimes yourself or who you want to be is not necessarily, encompassing the religion or what's acceptable.
I guess I've always just been a free thinker.
Wow.
Just because I never wanted to do, like, even when I was a kid, like, everybody be like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. Nah, man, whatever y'all want to do, let's do something different.
Completely opposite.
Look.
Okay, so I'll say this on that because you said free thinker.
Yeah.
I believe I was somewhat of a free thinker I just wasn't necessarily a free doer.
Yeah.
So my mind has always been like way, and there's you know, you got your little angel.
Yeah, of course. You
got
got red one.
here, and
You
it's
got
like usually my little angel won most of the time, but once in the blue moon,
right.
when my little devil won, boy, it was the time to remember.
But you never could do it though.
Once in the blue moon, it won. Right. You know, but and like I said, there were certain things. So certain things. Oh yeah, you got it. We.
Okay.
Right. I get that free thinker, but you were free thinking and free doing.
Free doing, okay.
Yeah.
I was just more so free thinking.
Free thinking, okay.
But I also knew, you know, there were certain things I could think about it all day long.
But you wouldn't do it.
I thought about robbing the bank a couple times. 20 years is not looking good if I get
It's not
caught.
looking good, right.
But in my mind, I got planned out like, I'm going to get my passport first. Like, in my mind, I've already like, okay, and then the tunnel, and then
you need to plan it out completely. Right.
And then I drill, and then, like, you know, so I think there's two sides, but most people don't go into that next level of they say free thinking, but it's like, yeah, you can be free thinking all you want, but is you gonna do it?
You gonna do it, right.
Are you bold enough to?
Because you still have those shadows of, like you said, your upbringing, your tradition that's changing.
Are you gonna do it?
Right.
Are you gonna, you know, allow yourself to be you? And unfortunately, I think that now, you know, because when it comes to certain things in life, I remember watching certain TV shows and movies, and I've seen, because you brought up the aspect of like the LGBTQI.
Yeah, all the letters they put with it.
Right. So I remember watching shows and movies and seeing, because I guess it was a little more, I don't know how to word it. I guess people were a little trying to
conform, right?
I don't want to say, well, I'm going to get to that part, but they would put gay men in movies or TV shows.
Right.
And a gay man would be like, oh, you my home, you know, we gonna pretend like we married so I can get this promotion at work.
Right.
Huh?
So it was a culture of people living in silence, basically. And it wasn't just homosexuality.
But it was Chuck and Larry.
And even like how
they wasn't even
well, see, that's the thing. Yeah. That was so that was a complete spin on the whole situation.
Right. Yeah.
They pretended to be gay to get,
so he could get his insurance.
To get insurance.
Yeah.
But
now,
to her point,
right
before the don't ask, don't tell with the military, to bring it up without politics and government.
You married a woman.
Lot of people, you had a lot of guys, like she said, that knew they had no damn interest in a woman whatsoever. But that went to their comfort zone, their upbringing, their religion.
They had women, they got married, or they had children with women, so it looks normal.
So it looks normal. It looks traditional.
Now it's like, do you?
Right.
You don't have to, you know, lie to get insurance.
Right.
We together, you know, we together, and I can marry you.
Right.
And we get the same benefits. Because guess what? At the end of the day, my money is green.
Right. So
why do it matter? If I need a kidney.
From a company aspect.
Right. If I need a kidney and we're together, why should your insurance, if we're together, why can it not?
Right.
But you'll do it because in common law marriages.
Common law.
We ain't even legally married. We ain't got the paperwork. But common law say, oh, she's been with him for all these years. Yeah. Or whatever.
So she's entitled. Yeah.
So she's entitled. But with us, it would be totally different. They'd be like,
That's not, no
we've been together 20 years. Me and you've been together 6 months.
And they would normal. Right.
So it's one of those things where it's like, wow, like even, you know, they put it out there in society, mainstream movies, TV.
Right.
To where you have to kind of.
What's not acceptable.
Right. So I'm glad that movie came out where it was the complete opposite. Now we two men, we gotta get married to get insurance.
Wow.
That's bananas to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, why you even, that's a whole nother thing, but
The
it's
whole
like,
time.
you know, so some people can't even, you know, you can't do what you want to do. You can't be who you want to be because you can't further your career.
Right.
You can't adopt children.
Right.
You can't, you know what I'm saying? There's so many things you
So
quote
many
unquote can't
restrictions.
do
Right.
because, like, even as a single woman, there's a lot of times you can't adopt children because you're a single parent.
Right. Yeah.
Why do it matter?
Right.
I'm a human, ain't I? I mean, you know, I could give this child love instead of them being in the foster system. Instead of them being bounced around and here and there or homeless or worse.
Right.
But you'll stop me from doing it because it's not normal because I'm not married.
Right.
I'm not married to a man.
Yeah.
And
I think that was something else that they was moving closer to revising, but that still go back to what you were saying. It hinders so many people and limitations in so many ways, like from adoption to just basically want to be yourself, like in public.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to drive all of that all the way to depression. You know what I'm saying? Your self-prison also lead you to depression.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be yourself around your family. You can't be yourself at work.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be yourself in the military. And not just homosexuals, you even got straight people, for whatever reason, biracial couples, even still at this time, can't be together publicly, peacefully, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that drive, that self-prison is driving a lot of people into their own self-depression. You know what I'm saying? That silent battle
Right.
is ultimately what I wanted to get at. You know, stop living in your own prison. And so I wanted us to just kind of put out as a panel, publicly, ways you can try to escape that self-prison. You know what I'm saying? I know for myself, I do a lot of meditating. I'm big on spirituality, just like Eric said. So for me, I'm not big on religion. It used to be once upon a time where I went to church 2 times a week, Sundays and Tuesdays. You know, get a Bible study, and then Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might get that second service on Sunday. But for me, I think about age 15 to 16, I developed my own relationship and my own spirituality. To where it became deeper for me than religion. You get what I'm saying? And then
Or what somebody told you.
Or what somebody told you. You know what I'm saying? And so you got your own testimony and your own experience with your higher power or whatever you believe in. And for me, that's what happened at an early age. And I want to say that too helped me allow to be and accept who I was, even outside of my family boundaries, my traditional boundaries. And so I guess I wanted us to put out publicly to the world, like, what do you do when you already have those realms of tradition and routine in place, and that's all you've ever known for 30 years, 32 years, and you want to live outside that, but you don't know how. Where do you get that courage from? What do you know, it's so late in the game, you know, like for Ayers, I know that would be like a hard question, because he's saying that he's always had that self-actualization, and that's a gift, you know. Some people never reach that self-actualization, and some people reach it 50 years old, but your life has passed. You know what I'm saying? And you can't get time back.
Right. So a couple of things. I'll say this from my own personal experience, and I'll always say the people you keep around you,
Right.
not just your family,
Right.
your friends,
Right.
the people who you're with most of your day.
Right.
Because even you don't know the relationship you can have with a coworker.
Right.
Who can you spend 40 hours a week
Right.
with these people, with your coworkers.
Right.
But who you invest talking to at
And
work,
you allowed to invest in your character.
right, could make a, one of my closest friends, I met at work.
Okay.
We've been friends for 10 years now. We met at work. And she's one of those people who's encouraging, who is like, oh, she's the one who got me on the plane. I had my father try to get me on the plane.
Right.
I had my mom was like, why you don't just go? Who? Blame me. So there are some people who kind of just so who you have around you, and is it something that you want to do? Because the reality is, some people are okay and complacent with being stuck. They're okay with not stepping outside their bounds, not seeing anything else, not trying new things. They're okay with that.
Right.
So I would say who you keep around you, for one. For two, I am so happy that people like Charlemagne the God are talking more openly about therapy.
Right.
Get you some
Some
help.
help.
Talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody.
Even if it's not a professional.
Right, correct.
You gotta have at least that one person you can
An
confide
outlet.
in that isn't gonna judge you.
Right.
Because that's the worst.
Right.
Feeling judged or feeling like somebody's gonna look at you and be like, you think what?
Yeah.
That's gonna make it worse. That makes you kind of
it makes you more
go
inhibited.
more into the shell.
Yeah.
Oh, you might think different of me.
Yeah.
So finding that somebody,
Right.
that's a start. But of course, then you might at some point, or probably definitely need somebody professional. Somebody who is gonna say, hey, a third party. And I say third party because somebody neutral who is not gonna just tell you what they think you want you to hear.
Where they want you to be at, like Ash pointed out earlier. Right.
Because your family,
they're gonna point you to where they want you to be at.
Or what they think you should do. Well, I know you, so I know that you should be doing this. I have older siblings who, might be like, oh, well, you should do this. I know this about you.
Right.
My parents are going to be like, you've always been this type of child, so you should be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any type of religious or spiritual association, guide, pastor, whatever, they're going to tell you, you should be going this way. So somebody who has no investment in you at all, just other than to hear what you gotta say and feel, and to help you, expand your mind, Craig. Expand your mind, Craig. And I think that'll kind of, help getting out, seeing different things, and not. I look at people who, I'm from Charlotte. I've been here since I was 5. I've traveled.
Right.
I know people who have never left
Charlotte. Right. Left the room.
Charlotte. And I'm like,
wow.
You didn't know such and such? You didn't know, you didn't.
Or
what do you
worse,
do?
They don't even know what's on the other side of the same city.
Right.
Never been to a
we got one of those.
restaurant.
I didn't know we had that.
We had that restaurant.
What? Like, right.
Right.
Restaurant been on the same street
20, 30
since before
years.
you was born. And you've never, you didn't even read about it. You ain't even, so it's one of those things where you have to want.
Yeah.
You have to want it. You have to want it, because there are things in life that I've held myself back from for so long that now it's just like, you know what? Either I'm gonna do
it or not.
Or I'm not gonna do
it.
But I have to want.
Right.
I have to have that desire. Right.
Wow.
To want it.
Yeah. I mean, I look at it like this. I feel like you gotta. I'm gonna kind of piggyback off of what you were saying, and I'm gonna flash back to. Remember we had an episode about haters.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. You really gotta look at who's in your
Circle, you really do.
And you can't always tell everybody your business, because even when you're doing good, you got people that you can tell your business and you think that, hey, this person's gonna be excited for me.
Right.
And they might in your face, they might be like, oh, that's great.
Right, yeah.
And behind your back, they talking the most junk, the most trash, the most whatever. And they putting all of that negativity, all of that those negative vibes on you. So you just gotta be careful about the people that are in your circle, the people that you hang around. You just gotta you have to put yourself around people that are really like there to that. If you're gonna pour into them,
they'll pour back.
They'll pour back into you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
The same way.
And even pour when you're not pouring.
Can't afford to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't know where you're gonna get that strength from, that encouragement. To pick yourself up. It's one of those things. Like I said, I have coworkers who I got a couple. It don't matter what you do. it's a complaint.
It's a
Something
complaint,
is
right?
wrong.
Somebody always complaining, yeah.
They're gonna find something wrong, something is the issue. And then I have coworkers who are like, "You did what? That is amazing.
Yeah.
Why you don't do this? I think you would be great at that. You should do this." And I'm like,
So-
"You thought that was a good idea?"
So
You know what?
we found out on the episode, the haters episode, I was
Yeah.
the only person on the show that wasn't an actual hater.
That wasn't the actual.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, pause. Secondly, so Lonnie and I figured out that we've not hated on other people so much as our own selves.
Right.
We've hated on ourselves.
That's
We've kept ourselves, just like we're talking about. We've kept ourselves from doing things. You can't do that. Why would you? That's not a good idea. You can't.
Yeah.
You know, we've hated on ourselves.
Right.
He said he ain't got no doubts in himself.
Yeah,
He ain't never had them problems.
I don't hate on myself. I don't hate on anybody else.
Right.
Me,
Hey, look, I would
can be
support the
honest.
crazy. You can come to me with the craziest idea. Hey, look, man, we're going to turn that stove into a rocket and we're going to blast off.
Blast off.
Hey, that's what's up. Let's do it. Hey, I'm going to support you
First
from
of
here.
all-
What's up?
Okay, I'm that real friend.
You're the realist.
I'm the
You gotta
realist.
be. This is not realistic. Yeah.
This
Just
is,
be
I
real.
mean,
Look, though.
first of all, if you don't have but a second grade education,
Right.
and we know you stayed in the back room coloring
Right,
brown
right,
trees,
right.
you're probably not gonna be able to build the rocket. Let's be honest.
Check this out, though.
Let's be honest. Now you might blow up the stove,
Right.
but it's not gonna be a rocket.
This is the thing, though. The
I'm
one
real.
time when you say, nah,
Nah,
it ain't going
right.
to happen,
It will
they
be
go out there
happens.
and they build a
Build
rocket.
the rocket.
And now they in space.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So I guess
I'm that
I guess
person.
I'm with Eds too because I'm always that optimist. Where I'm like, okay, man, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because that's why you got the LeBrons. I think LeBron James was homeless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was homeless for a long while. And a lot of people told him, you know, he wouldn't be in the NBA and stuff like that. And now he is. And I hate LeBron. But just his story, his you know, forgive me, you know, I'm going through my Kobe. I'm still grieving with Kobe. So,
Yeah.
but as a person who was so resilient and determined in life, and to go back to what you're saying, it could be that one time or that one incident or opportunity where you like, that person can't, that person won't.
Yeah.
They don't have the capacity to do so, and they do that. And so, for that matter, I get what you're saying. I completely agree with Ayers for that.
You know,
Okay, I guess I look at just
when we were on
what
that
it
episode,
is.
that was my exact point. Like, no matter what the idea that they come up with, or they tell me, like, who am I to say it will not
won't
work?
Right.
How am I supposed to know it's gonna work or won't work?
Right.
Okay, I got you.
Your idea might be
Do it.
bungee jumping for me. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, we're not doing it.
Hey,
But
do your
I'm gonna
thing.
go cheer you on from the bottom though.
But that goes back to what we're speaking on in terms of comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what pushes you outside of that comfort zone? I know you spoke on, or we spoke on, like, who you keep around you or the people that you put in your circle. But what if you're alone or you don't have a circle? Or what if your circle is, you know, toxic? And a lot of people dealing with that, and they don't even know their circle toxic because they never had anybody outside of that circle.
Right. That's a good one. I don't.
They never had anybody outside of that circle, so of course they would know it's toxic if they had something else to compare it to.
Right. But you saying when you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know. You
At
know
some
what?
point-
I'm going to pray for all the people who
At some point, you gotta
got
think.
toxic.
Yeah.
At some point, you gotta think, man. Look, why you always negative when I say something?
Right.
Why you gotta shoot down all
You
my
gotta
ideas?
check it out at some point. Yeah.
Why everything I got to say gotta be stupid?
Right.
Why? Look, I mean,
True. But that's the thing.
But you do have that negative friend. Everything you say stupid.
Yeah.
Man, why the hell you said that?
But
Yeah.
you know what? Like you said, if you don't know, so there are some people who the whole family's toxic.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. The whole
You
circle.
never
It
move
gotta be-
out
it
of-
could be the circle.
You
Yeah.
never move out of this area.
Nobody's
you
never did nothing. Yeah.
And it's you don't know. And I can't imagine. Like I can't. I really can't because even with my own like how I feel about myself,
Right.
I'm thankful that I've always had other people around me Of course, there's a hater or two,
Right.
always in the midst or wherever.
Right.
But I've always had somebody encouraging, somebody
okay.
speaking life, somebody, you know, giving me the push.
Okay.
But one person's pushing me this way forward, even if it's a hater trying to get in my way, they're like, dodge that.
Okay.
Or they blocking it themselves. So I can't imagine what that's like, having your whole
circle
be toxic. I can't. Like, I mean, that's gotta be.
And a lot of people living like that though.
At some point, you just gotta you gotta be like, look, all right, I gotta go.
But that's the thing. It's like, how do you know?
Yeah.
How do you even know that
I have to go with this?
This is why your growth is stunted.
Right.
Like, how do you know that?
When that's all you know.
I can't. Right. When that's all you know, I can't.
You can't imagine that.
I can't imagine that because
there's got you at some point in your day though, you've got to have interactions with somebody that is not like that.
But is it long enough? Is it impactful enough?
right.
That somebody could be the cashier that you always see, or it could be that coworker that you have limited access to.
That's my point though. You got to have some kind of interaction with somebody. This is what I always say, and I stick to this, and I tell everybody this, no matter where I'm at. The smallest interaction you can have with somebody can change their life, and you never know it.
Right. It can.
You can smile.
But who's to say it will?
You can smile to them. You can speak to them.
Right.
Anything can change someone's day. So that I try to smile all the time. I try to ask people how they doing.
Right.
I try to go out my way to speak to people at all times, no matter where I'm at.
Right.
And I have severe social anxiety, and I still try to do this.
Do this. Okay.
Right.
She had to go with me to Walmart to buy my son's Christmas gift.
Wow, because of anxiety, right?
Yeah.
Right. But
so
it's one of those things that it's like, you know, what if he didn't have that buffer?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What if I wasn't a buffer?
That's what I'm asking, yeah.
Yeah.
But he recognized, but everybody doesn't. Like you said, everybody doesn't recognize. You recognize because you've been around long enough. You've seen enough to know
that buffer.
Yeah.
Right. But everybody isn't fortunate enough to have a buffer.
Right.
So I don't even know what to say
Can't imagine
to
being
people.
that lost. And that's what we pretty much at in society in America. I think it's like a huge crisis where people are not just stuck by their traditions or, you know, not being able to be themselves, and so they have that block in self-identity and self-actualization. But I think that it resonates all the way to like career choice and career patterns, like she said, to where all you ever seen in your family was your mom, aunts, and parents be, you know, the local hotel janitor, or you know,
nobody went to college. Nobody
went to college,
or even graduated from high school because
right.
Like my grandfather didn't graduate from high school.
Right.
But
back then
he was a sheriff. He became a sheriff.
Right.
Like. That don't even add up now. Right. Now you can't perform certain jobs. You can't imagine having this career path without a high school diploma, let alone a college degree, or master's or bachelor's or doctorate. Like you can't even fathom that.
Right.
Back then,
it wasn't required.
You got a lot of integrity.
Right.
You're a good guy.
That was it. Yeah.
You're a good guy. Hey,
so
you want to learn how to shoot a gun?
That's all that was required.
We're going to show you how to do. You know, so even times have changed to where. But what if my grandfather said, "I don't have no education." He know he got a family to feed.
Right.
But what if that wasn't enough for him to say and look at himself and be like, "You got a family to feed." Like, if that ain't motivation for you, let me just say, get some. Yeah. Like, but I mean, that's the thing. It's cool because hopefully everybody can find some little inkling. One person. All it takes is one person to be in your ear, to be that little angel on your shoulder. Right.
To get you there.
You can do it.
You can do it.
And I'm hoping everybody has that.
That's that
like,
person,
at least one.
Right.
Hopefully it's, if you have your parents, at least one of them, somebody. Your sibling,
somebody that's
your friend,
get you outside of that box.
somebody who has your best interest at heart.
Right.
Because there's way too many people who take advantage of people who is like, oh, I see you already down, let me help kick them.
Right. So.
And that's tragic.
Right.
Is what that is. It's tragic.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a video that angered me yesterday. Somebody posted on Facebook. It was how you say it? Jiffy.
Oh,
a GIF.
A GIF.
But it was GIPHY. Whatever that is. Whatever that is. It's a video.
Gypsy. I don't know.
No.
Say I know.
No, that's not it. But what it was 3 teenagers. It was 2 girls and a guy. The guy on the end and the girl on the end, looking at each other, they both jump up at the same time. When they jump up and come back down, then the girl jumps up in the middle. When she jumped up, they both kicked her feet out from under her.
Oh, wow.
And she fell on the floor. And I was like, why is this a thing?
Yeah.
You know how embarrassing that is?
Right.
Who's to say what mindset that young lady is in now that it's all over social media?
Wow.
You know how many people could see that? And she could be so embarrassed by that she takes her own life.
Right.
Or she tries to.
Right.
But y'all thought it was hilarious. Like, I got sick to my stomach.
Wow.
Because the initial thought was, it could be funny.
Right.
But the rest of me was like, the parent in me.
Right.
My maternal instincts was like, I'm trying to fight both of them.
Right, the kids.
Because of the level of disrespect. And she's like waiting, like she's hyped up like, oh, we're going to do this thing.
Yeah.
And they kicked both her feet out from under her. And I was like, you know what? Watch who you keep in your circle. Because you thinking y'all doing this cute video and now you on the floor. Who knows what's hurt?
Right.
Besides your ego.
Right,
your self-esteem.
Right. Definitely your ego.
Your butt probably a little sore. You know, a little hip action is a little bruised. But who's to say what mindset she's in? You have no clue. And just that quick, we can be seeing a story about her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you gotta be more conscious of who you keep around you.
So, I guess I was saying in closing, I guess we touched on therapy, which is, I can commend, I guess, all people in the mental health field. It's way more popular than what it used to be. Talking about anxiety, like Eris touched on, depression, that's self or silent battles, which I think this is one of them. So it's becoming way more popular, way more present to reach out to get help. And to piggyback on what you said, I think it's important to talk to somebody. It don't have to be a mental health professional. It could be a friend of 20 years or just somebody, like you say, you always see at the supermarket routinely. But I think it's important to have that pivot outside of your norm, outside of your tradition, outside of your church. It's okay to have that church pastor or deacon or your mom or your aunt, your uncle or cousin, but I think it's important to have that person that'll pivot you outside of that too. And I can keep you abreast on something that's outside your comfort zone. So,
and that's becoming more normalized.
Right.
Going to therapy is becoming more normalized, which is
among minorities.
Right, because we ain't trying to. What?
Nah, you ain't even.
Oh, that made me look weak.
That made me look crazy. I
ain't crazy.
Right.
Nah, I'm trying to keep from going crazy.
Right.
So it's becoming more quote unquote normalized.
And that's big, and I think that's positive, and I think that put a spin on it overall as like a nation and a generation too, and like the generations to come. So, like you said, I think therapy is a big thing to getting out that secret silence, that secret fight. Whether your tradition have you there, your religion have you there, your parents, your job, because a lot of people, they have a decent, acceptable at-home lifestyle. They have a really accepting family, but then sometimes it's that job too, that career path too, where you stuck in, like you referred to your father. All you know is you have bills and you have kids, and so that's what you have to live for, and that's what you live for. And for 10, 15 years, you be stuck in a job that you never even want to do.
Right.
That's never
because the check is steady.
because the financial income is steady. And so that's another aspect about living in your own silence or living in your own prison. Because I too think that that's a big fight that Americans is fighting, period. Especially with the financial instability, the different persons and different parties and legislation and politics, with laws that are being, you know what I'm saying, put in place, and some that hasn't, that probably should be.
Right. And changed.
So therapy, like we said, therapy I think is a really big one. That's becoming more popular. Just having that outlet, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not somebody to talk to, but it's working out. I said a lot of people doing a lot of working out now. Yoga, or even
like you said, meditation.
Meditation, yeah, meditation,
is definitely
music, writing. So I think that outlet is important, especially if you can find that outlet outside of your comfort zone, outside of your family. And so
find
it's just
something.
Yeah, you have to find something, man, because it's like an ongoing fight. Like I said, people are definitely living in their own prisons. And I know a lot of people that are locked up and that are free. I mean, they locked up, but they're free.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. They got them, you know that.
They have their own boundaries.
Right.
Their own prison bars.
Exactly.
So
You still in a box.
right.
Right.
So I definitely want us to touch on that today, and like what ways they can get out of it, man, because it's crazy, and I think it's also driving the suicide rate. Depression, I think it's driving depression, and I think it's driving the suicide rate.
And alcoholism, and drug abuse.
Addiction, drug abuse, any maladaptive habits, you know what I'm saying? And mental health across the board, period.
Hold on, say that again. You said
Maladaptive
maladaptive
habits.
I need you to explain for the people what that is, because
I mean, because
Bad habits.
bad habits.
okay.
Maladaptive and
Right. Well, I'm saying that
So in other
because
words, negative habits instead of you.
instead of you coping,
Right.
Yeah,
healthy
instead of
with
you
it.
getting positive coping skills, you get
Right.
bad coping skills.
Right,
sexual
So,
addiction.
sexual addiction, drug addiction,
Right.
alcoholism. It's okay to have your vice, but everything should be done in moderation.
Yeah.
And when you're relying on whatever that is to supplement for how you feel or avoid
If
or
you go to
depression,
that too heavily, yeah.
right.
right?
Right.
And that become maladaptive. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that also plays into depression and self-awareness or being down on yourself. And like I said, ultimately driving up the suicide rate, especially among teens. And so that's pretty much what I want to speak on about just living in your own prison and how to get yourself free. First of all, you need to talk to somebody, reach out. And I think the biggest part about it is awareness. You know what I'm saying? You can't get free if you're not aware.
Right.
And so
you don't even understand that it's
you're
an
bound-
issue.
Yeah.
Or that it's preventing you from going forward with your life.
Right.
Or doing
Or different
other
life quality.
things. Right.
Right. So expanding your horizon and so your perspective and opening you up. So, like I said, that's big, and I think this topic pretty much will go far because a lot of people are fighting that silent battle, and I just want us to pretty much touch on that. And so, I think it'll help a lot of people just to put it out there, just to be saying that okay, we minorities too. We see ourselves as Christians too, or you know what I'm saying, or public figures too, but we too suffer or go through issues. However,
I go to therapy.
at
least every other week.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I actually been to therapy, but I usually keep a therapist on hand, especially working like in the mental health field.
Exactly.
Because for me, I wear a lot of hats. Like I write, I'm an author, I do music, and I also work with kids in the mental health arena. So self-care is big in that. Self-actualization is big in that. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of young people looking to you. In whatever aspect I decide to be an author or an artist, and I have a lot of outside people outside of my realm looking to me. So that comes with a lot of social pressure, you know, and it comes with the temptation to conform, you know, to what's normal or normalities, society normalities. And so
let me ask you this: being a creator, I know for me, that's a lot of times that's some of the freest time I had. So when I'm creating, that's when I feel my freest time. So anytime I'm doing a podcast or anytime I'm writing, that's the most relaxed. That's the best time of my day right there.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess I can agree with you. I guess that's why I adopted like writing.
Yeah.
So I'm young considerably. I'm 30. So with me being still wet behind the ears, I guess it's an accomplishment to say that I'm a published author at 30 and just turning 30. And I guess I also can say that I've probably been writing about 17 years. Yeah. And if I didn't have that outlet of writing, I could see where I would have been conformed or limited in a lot of ways, not just career, in identity, because I too was like you. You know, I pretty much was always free. I had the religious boundaries and the religious expectations, and I had my familiar expectations and traditions. To a certain extent, I followed those out of respect, but I always kind of knew who I was and had my own way, even as young as like 7 or 8. And for that matter, to be able to be that person, sometimes I had to go in character in writing. Because being so young, you can't be that person. Or you can't say those things and do those things because you are so young and you don't pay bills and you don't have a household.
Not my house.
Or you want your damn teeth knocked out. So, I guess for me, I had to kind of dive into creative works or creative arts to be and accept that side of me and let it to then later overflow into my mainstream everyday life. So yeah, for me, being a creator and being into music and authorship, that has helped me to reach that self-actualization that a lot of people never reach. So for art and writing and music, I am grateful for, you know what I'm saying? And I agree, in those times I'm most free myself.
I did music for a long time too. I've done poetry for a much longer time. I've been writing since I was like, oh Jesus.
A long time.
Don't tell us.
I'm considerably older than you.
Yeah.
So I've been writing a little bit longer. But I did music too for a while too. So I got a few mixtapes out there.
Yeah. Mixtapes. But on all of them, you was able to be yourself, and so I think the bottom line is whether it's art, music, career path, that friend at work, that coworker, you need to find you some type of outlet, whether it be tangible or not. And then second, some type of therapy. Once you come to the realization that this is where I'm at, this is where I need to be, some type of therapy, even if it's not on a extreme professional level, some type of therapy that help you reach that self-actualization.
Because even therapists will tell you, right.
But you have to do the work, yeah.
Well, they'll tell you to write. They'll tell you whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, write. If you have a dream, wake up and write it down. They will tell you, find something that you like to do. Try different things and then spend more time doing what you like. Yeah. That's what a therapist will tell you. The professionals will tell you, right. Yeah. You like music? Sing. Yeah. You know, you want to dance? Yeah. Even if you got no rhythm, which I don't think any of us here have that problem, but, you know, go to a dance class. Go watch art. Go watch theater. Go to a museum. Find something that makes you, you know, feel like you're free. Even if it's for a short period of time. And then once you start getting a little more comfortable with that, then you might find more stuff to do that you like to do that makes you feel free, and that could also kind of give you that outlet and kind of help you, you know, kind of get your wings. Get your wings. And that's not just from Red Bull either.
But that's funny that you say get your wings, because the last book that I published and wrote in 2016 was called The Conscious Collection, and the new book that's probably, I've had writer's block for so long, but the new book is called Get Your Wings Back. And that's more of a narrative of my life, different challenges, different stages. So that was catchy, and that's something that we'll have to probably catch up the audience with later at a different time, different podcast. But that book in particular is specifically about that self-awareness, self-actualization, but from a narrative perspective, from pretty much my life, you know what I'm saying? How I was able to eventually evolve into self-actualization, acceptance, and still be able to kind of like fit in the margins of, you know what I'm saying, tradition, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, to where my self-actualization and identity don't necessarily hinder me from career progression, you know what I'm saying, or being able to fit in and still stand out.
Right. So,
So,
Wow. That's deep.
That's
Yep.
deep.
We got real deep. 12 feet. 12 feet at the YMCA.
Sleep at the YMCA.
Yeah.
That's deep. So
Yeah, that's deep.
This is a dope episode.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Hey, thank y'all
you
for having me.
us.
Thank y'all for
Yeah.
having me. And like anytime, like I said, I'm here. So
It's been real.
It's been another episode.
yeah.
Should never gave us.
Should have
mics.
never gave us
Shouldn't
mics.
have.
Yeah.
We took them.
Rah!
Brah, brah.
Yeah, pew. Shot. That's definitely a 22. Yeah. Ain't that
Y'all know
big,
what
so
to do.
Catch us.
Hit us on YouTube.
Instagram, Facebook,
Subscribe.
SoundCloud.
Like, share.
Like, share.
Definitely like
All
and
that
share.
good stuff.
I'm Jay Blackbeard on Instagram.
Miss Tigger 1 on Instagram.
I'm Rockstar Vegas on Instagram, Rockstar Vegas on SoundCloud. So y'all make sure y'all follow me.
Yeah.
Jay Ayers on Facebook.
Tamisha Span on Facebook.
Rockstar Vegas on Facebook. So
The show is Shoulda Never Gave Y'all Mics on Instagram.
definitely check it out. Should
And
never
YouTube.
gave us mics. The podcast. Several episodes for y'all to check out. Also on Anchor too, right?
Yep.
Make sure y'all download the app Anchor because it's 7 episodes or several, not 7.
Yeah,
It's more than
No.
7.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely
definitely,
seven.
definitely more than 7 in
We
here.
got like
So
close to 30 episodes.
yeah, so
Deep. Yeah.
definitely expanding.
Yeah.
You guys keep a lookout on for my guys, man. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
hey, y'all stay tuned.
Send us your comments. Send us your show ideas.
Yo, give us ideas. Hit us in the DMs.
Yeah.
Don't slide in.
Yeah, don't slide in. Yeah.
Please don't.
Don't get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But it's been
Definitely
another
check us
one.
out.
Unless it's her DMs, then you can
This is
slide
her.
in all
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I just said don't.
Just say don't. But
Unless it's Jay Ellis, then you slide in all day.
Please slide in.
but it's been real, guys. Thank you for tuning in.
We out.
All right.
Peace.
Uh,
I don't think.
I can't reach.
No, it was never recording.